Hello everyone, I'm Chris, and welcome to another episode of Winter Moon Games Tabletop Reviews. Today, I have a game called Alphabetta. This game is actually from the Game Crafter. It was designed by a designer from Australia, and I'm really excited to be showing this off today on my show. The designer of Alphabetta was a bit of a word game enthusiast and played a lot of competitive Scrabble back in the day. You can tell when you first play this game there's a lot of similarities and inspiration from Scrabble and other word games. What you're essentially going to be doing in Alphabetta is creating your own crossword puzzle, and you can do that in a number of ways. At the beginning of the game, you're going to start off by separating all the tiles in front of you by color, and you're going to place them face down on the table. So you have pink, yellow, green, blue, and purple letters. So the rules to the game are actually written on the back of your player screen. I did have a little trouble reading and understanding some of the nuanced things in the game, but what I did understand is that you roll these 3 dice, and the most you can roll is an 18 on 3 dice. On your player screen, you have numbers 3 through 18. Obviously the minimum with 3 dice being 3 that you can roll. Each number corresponds to a color tile. So if I rolled a 7, I would draw a green tile. If I rolled a 17, I would draw a yellow tile. So what we did in the 2-player game was we took turns rolling the dice and drawing the correct tile to our side of the table. And we didn't start building our word grid until all the tiles from the table were gone. That's how I understood it from the rules. That may or may not be the case, so I believe the correct way to play is to take turns drawing tiles until all the tiles are gone, which, to be honest, is actually a really slow mechanic, and it kind of takes a while to get going. Now, at the beginning of the game, you're going to agree upon what size word grid you want to build, either a 3x3 or a 4x4 or a 5x5 word grid. On the back of the player's screen, there are a number of examples of word grids that you can choose from or use as a guide. Getting through the rules was a little bit tricky. Playing the way we played, once we had all of our tiles, we just kind of simultaneously started building our own word grid. Now, you're supposed to say alpha when you have one more letter remaining in your grid, and once you say that, you actually can't be the first person to finish your puzzle. So what that tells me is we should have been taking turns throughout the game. But again, I wasn't really sure upon initial setup how we should be taking turns, or if it's all happening simultaneously. When to stop drawing tiles. Do we stop when we have enough for our 5x5 word grid? Do we stop when all the tiles are gone from the middle in a 2-player game? That being said, when I was building my word grid, I actually started out by not using the examples on the back of the player screen. After a few minutes of realizing how many different possible combinations of words I might have, I just decided to look up at the examples, which the rules actually say you're allowed to use. So I ended up just copying exactly one of the 4x4 grid examples and creating my puzzle that way, which took me about half the time it would have taken me to come up with something random. I think Alphabetta has a lot of potential, though I don't think it's a game for me since I don't really enjoy a lot of word games. But if you like putting together puzzles or doing crosswords or Sudoku or word games overall, you actually will probably enjoy Alphabetta. You're not going to find anything fast-paced like Bananagrams here. This is a very slow burn, and I don't think that's a problem necessarily. I just think you have to be in the right mood. In fact, I can see this more as a 1 to 2 player Zen type of game where you just sit down with your, friend and you want to play a game and relax by a campfire. I could see this game being played solo, where you challenge yourself and you only grab exactly the kind of letters that you need for a 5x5 grid, and then you have to make it work. The word tiles in the Game Crafter version are a little hard to deal with. They're almost paper thin. I know that the designer was talking about doing a new version, and hopefully that will be the case. Maybe make them a little bit bigger or a little bit more durable with cardboard, maybe make them tiles instead of punch outs. But I'm willing to acknowledge that while Alphabetta may not be the best game for me, I think there are a lot of word game enthusiasts out there that can really enjoy this game and get something out of it. With tighter rules, higher quality components, and a little bit more variations on how to play, this game has a lot of potential. But for the Game Crafter version, this one I have right in front of me, I'm going to give Alphabetta 2 out of 5 moons. Not a bad game, but definitely geared more towards the word game enthusiast in your life. I'd like to thank the designer, Graham Burrell, all the way from Australia, for giving me an opportunity to play your game. I was honored to play Alphabetta all the way over here in the US. I hope that this video was helpful for you. As always, you can see more tabletop reviews at wintermoongames.com/reviews. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel to stay up to date to what I'm doing with new reviews and gaming related content, find me on your social media platform of choice, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And if you have a question for me about Alphabetta or for the designer, or if you have a suggestion for a game you'd like me to review or preview for Kickstarter, please send me an email at cb@wintermoongames.com. Until next time, I'm Chris, and thank you very much for watching.